everybody. How are you doing today? Fine? Okay. How was your weekend?
Not long
So, we are going to continue our enrichment course, and today we will make some comments about freedom of religion and freedom of religion relating this issue either to human rights or fundamental right. A fundamental right according to the American Constitution and a fundamental right according to the Brazilian Constitution. But as we come to analyze the freedom of religion, we must find out a concept for this fundamental right. And here in the item 1, we come with a concept of freedom of religion, which comes to be the right that everyone has to be free to think, be free in your conscience, and be free to make an option in terms of the religion. So freedom of religion is the right that everyone has to freedom of thought, freedom of conscience, and freedom of religion. And that's how the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states the freedom of religion, and it happened in 1948. So as we can see, the freedom of religion has a very great range. I mean, it's not exclusively related to the freedom of choice for one religion. It also represents the freedom of conscience. And what does it mean to have the individual to have a freedom of conscience? This freedom means that you are to have the freedom to believe and also the freedom not to believe in anything. So if you're a believer, it's okay, because the freedom of conscience is the fundamental right that protects you against any kind of invasion in your conscience. But if you're not a believer, you are also under the protection of the freedom of religion here in the freedom of conscience clause. So if you do not have any kind of belief in terms of religion matter, you are under the protection of the Brazilian Constitution, and we also could say that you are under the protection of the American Constitution. In addition, we have to conclude that the freedom of conscience also provides the individual the basic guarantee to spread its convictions. So if the individual wants to express one's or his or her religious conviction, he or she has the right, the fundamental right to do it, and he or she is under the protection of the freedom of conscience. But when we get to analyze the freedom of religion, we might conclude like Jorge Miranda concluded. It's a Portuguese scholar which happens to teach in the University of Coimbra. Jorge Miranda says that the freedom of religion is a basic right still in question. What does he want to mean by saying that the freedom of religion is a basic right still in question? He wants to say that freedom of religion is still a process, especially when we see some signals that show that freedom of religion is not a reality in nowadays. For example, if you go over to Brazil, you'll be amazed of so many holidays that we have, and holidays which are related to religious. We have the holiday of 12th of October, which happens to be very close. It is a Catholic holiday. We do have Christmas on the 24th of December. We do have Corpus Christi's holiday, which happens to be also a Catholic holiday. And here in the United States, you do have Catholic, religion holidays. Thanksgiving holiday, Christmas holiday. So how can we talk about freedom of religion when the state by itself provides holidays during the year? Do we have a real freedom of religion when we come to see these kinds of holidays that are recognized by the state? That's why I agree with Jorge Miranda when he says that freedom of religion is a basic right still in question. And to understand the process of consolidating the freedom of religion, we may have to come to analyze types of state-church relationship. And as we see it, there are three types of state-church relationship: confusion, union, and separation. What happens when we notice a state-church relationship that is based or basically a confusion? In this case, we may not